Hey Jen, it's Amanda. So I am sending you this video to help you with your math questions. I um, figured it would be easier to kind of just like go over it with you rather than try to explain it to you via text message or email. So I decided to kind of go over things on the board with you, and hopefully if I go through each problem, it'll kind of help you figure out, what you were missing or what you were misunderstanding with the questions. I know you only circled some of them, not all of them, but I figured, going through all of them will be helpful in the sense that it'll kind of help your brain start ticking and thinking, okay, this is what I should be looking for, this is how I should be approaching the question, or this is how I should be analyzing it in order to get the right answers, because all of these questions have to do with IVs, right? And administration, and you guys haven't started doing that yet. So you guys will be doing your IV pump checkoffs and your IV starts, as soon as OB starts, which is awesome. But with that kind of comes a little bit of confusion. I feel like the best way to learn is by doing it, right? Hands-on, visualizing, all that stuff. I understand you guys kind of look at what the patients have hanging, but you don't really truly understand all of it yet, how it all works, or I mean, maybe you do. Maybe Miss Beatty taught you that stuff. They did with us. I was like, I don't know IVs. Like, don't ask me. So I felt like it didn't start clicking with me until I actually started doing it, and I would get hands on with the IV pumps, and I start putting things in, infusion rates, what grams per whatever milliliters, things like that. So I definitely struggled a bit when I did these questions in the beginning, and it wasn't until after the fact that I was like, oh, okay. So now when I read these questions, I'm like visualizing in my head, okay, so I have this bag, I have this piggyback, and there's lactated ringers in there, there's normal saline in there, whatever, and the pharmacy has added 50 grams of whatever it could be. It could be anything. It could be iron. It could be anything. Any type of medication that needs to be administered through IV versus PO, right? So I know in these questions it says you're going to add it into the bag. To my knowledge, we don't do that. I've never seen a nurse do that. It's usually the pharmacy. They do that, and there's like a special spot on the bag where you administer the medication, the powder, whatever it is, and it dissolves in there, and you just hang it and let it go. So hopefully to kind of give you a visual to work with as I go through these questions. So I'm just going to start with question number 1 for nursing 1. Sorry, I can't really see that. Nursing 121. Okay, these are the math questions that Miss Scudmore gave you to practice before the semester started. So, and feel free if you have any friends in the class who are struggling with these questions, you can pass this video along. That's not a big deal. I'm not worried about it. You can post it on your Facebook website, whatever. But if you want to go ahead and grab your math problems that you've tried to work out so far, and also your sheet, so you can kind of go along with me, that would be awesome. So we'll go ahead and get started. Alright, so I have on my dry board here question number 1. I just kind of summarized it so it's not completely all written out, but basically you're going to administer, I believe this is magnesium sulfate. I didn't like chemistry, nor was I very good at it, so I don't care to remember all that stuff, so hopefully I'm right. I'm probably wrong, but please don't judge me. Anyway, so we're going to say it's magnesium sulfate. Administer magnesium sulfate at 1 gram per hour. So there's that. Add 20 grams to a 500 milliliter bag of D5LR, so that's 5% dextrose with lactated ringers. And it says you have, so this is what we have, a 10 milliliter vial of 50% magnesium sulfate. So basically all that means is we have 50 grams of magnesium sulfate in a 100 milliliter bag of D5LR, or solution. Okay? So the thing that I always want to go with first is, what do I want? What am I looking for? What is my end result here? So question A, or part A, says, how many milliliters will you add to the bag to achieve the ordered concentration? So first thing right off the bat, I know that I need milliliters, right? So I always write that on my paper just in case I ever get confused or what have you. We want mLs, okay? So then I go back to the question and I go, okay, what has mLs in it? So it says we have 10 ml